In this video, I'm going to review the new Afnan 9PM Elixir, tell you what this smells like, if I would recommend this product. So if you wanted to know if this product is right for you, make sure you stay until the end. Full disclosure, Afnan sent me this product 2 weeks ago. I've been testing with this undercover and nobody's known about this product's even existence until like recently. I like to think that I was the first person to post about this product. I think I teased it, but I know that Joma Shop got to it first. So, I mean, Joma Shop's going to probably have the best price on this product. So if you wanted to purchase that, it will be in the description below. I like to think that I was the first person to actually have this in hand. I probably wasn't, but come on, at least give me some credits in the comments below. So before I get into what this fragrance smells like, if it smells like anything that's familiar to you, let me show you the presentation. It comes in this box right here. Box in itself, very familiar to the Afnan 9PM line. You switch to the back, you get the product information, ingredients, and the holographic sticker that represents Afnan quite well. I absolutely think this like holographic sticker looks amazing on their products. It reminds me of like Pokemon cards when you like switch the lighting and it's like, wow, how did the card change positions? I think holographics just look so cool. You open this product up and you're greeted with the bottle. This is how it looks. So I think that it looks very nice. I think that the look of rustic brown and gold is very, very good color combination. I think that it's very visually appealing. But on top of that, I think that it just like represents Elixir so well. Because if you guys didn't know, my favorite elixir, Hugo Boss Bottled Elixir, is in the same color. So I was excited, to say the least, when I saw this. Not just from the color combination, but the name. The bottle in itself, in my opinion, other than Afnan 9PM Rebel, I think that this is the best color combination. I think rustic brown is such an amazing color. And if you pair that with gold, I think it looks so like old school, but at the same time, like modernized with the gold. I think it looks amazing. You also get some slight patterning in the front here and also on the back. You will also find on the case. So when you look at the case, same patterning is found on the bottle. Afnan started adding recently their logo on the top of the cap, and on the bottom, it just says Parfum Intense. Let's talk about the fragrance in general, because I know for a fact you guys are not here to see the presentation, and neither was I. I did not give a crap about the presentation when I got this in. I pretty much skipped the foreplay and went straight into it, baby. I impregnated this bottle with how fast I went into it. Let's see the atomizer. Basic atomizer. It's not the best atomizer in the world. It's not the pressurized atomizer that I always recommend to everyone. It's okay. It's not the best, but it still does the job. What does this fragrance smell like? So I asked the brand, when they sent this to me, this was basically, hey, this is our own original creation. But I will say, I do smell some inspirations of other fragrances I'm familiar with. Majority of people that smell this fragrance would not pick up these similarities, but the fact that I have smelt pretty much every fragrance under the sun, I smell something, I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, you know. Been there, done that. But the thing I will say is this is definitely in its own direction, and that's what I love about this fragrance. Basically, when I smell this fragrance, I get a combination of Jean Paul Gaultier La Malle Elixir and La Malle Elixir Absolute, kind of like that DNA of a fragrance. Before I go into more detail, let me discuss the actual added notes of this fragrance that are actually listed on the box. As you can see, top notes of nutmeg, elemi, and cardamom, middle notes of pimento, lavandin, and leather, base notes of ciste, labdanum, patchouli, and vanilla. I said I related it to kind of like a La Malle Elixir Absolute, but it's not just directly that. And in fact, I get kind of like similarities to those, but with like more depth. They kind of lean them into a more feminine aspect where I'm like, okay, you know, honestly, like men and women could both get away with this fragrance, but I smell this and it adds kind of almost a new twist on that DNA. It takes kind of the top notes of those, giving like tonka and vanillic smell with a little bit of added sweetness of almost more towards the Absolute, giving plum, but adds so much depth. Here you're getting more patchouli, you're getting more like, almost like a frankincense smell, you're getting more leather, you're getting more resinous feel, like it's more like dark and mysterious. Although I like to say it smells nothing like those because it's almost like you combined Hugo Boss Bottled Absolute and Boss Bottled Elixir. That's what it smells like to me. And you guys know what my opinion on Boss Bottled Elixir is. I absolutely love that fragrance. So how does this fragrance progress? Picture this, you're getting the opening, slight opening of La Malle Elixir Absolute. You're adding cardamom, leather, patchouli, deeper, darker elements. This in itself, I would say, is actually more the direction of its own original creation, like the brand actually told me. So I compared this to all of my fragrances. I personally don't have anything that smells one-to-one with this. Nothing. Unfortunately, for some people, which may have some similarities to some things, Boss Bottled Elixir Absolute, Boss Bottled Elixir, combined with La Mal Elixir and La Mal Elixir Absolute. It kind of smells like a kind of mashup of those. So I won't say that this smells like it's the most unique thing in the world. This is combining all the things I like into one. And this is why I'm gonna say, if I was to rank this on the scale of what I think the 9PM fragrances by Afnan are, I think that this is definitely in the top tier of fragrances they've released. I would say this one and 9PM Rebel are my favorite fragrances they've released. 9PM Rebel, perfect summer fragrance. This one, perfect winter. So who is this fragrance for? I would say this fragrance is more for the 25 plus crowd in the winter and fall time, going out to a more formal situation that wants to stand out from the crowd and doesn't want to be like seen as the, hey, I've smelled this fragrance before. They want to stand out. This fragrance absolutely does that because it smells incredibly high quality. Like whenever I review a fragrance that was sent to me, I always feel like standoffish from saying it smells high quality because a lot of people roast me in the comments. They're like, oh, you were paid by the brand. You have seen my previous videos. I'm not gonna say a fragrance smells high quality unless it is. This smells top tier designer, if not niche, in its level of quality. With that being said, what is the performance? Longevity, 10 to 12 hours. This stuff, I'm not even kidding, is almost borderline beast mode. I took a shower after like 6 hours, still smelt this stuff on my skin. It would not give up. I would say in the first like hour, you're definitely getting more of the tonka bean vanillic smell with an underedge of syrupy sweetness. After that hour or so of like pretty much, I'm not even kidding, like a 4 to 6 foot projector, it's very, very strong. And then you're getting a little bit more of the earthy edge of like what I would say is more relative to the Hugo Boss Bottled Elixir, Hugo Boss Bottled Absolute DNA. But this fragrance has definitely a progression to it that kind of confused me and honestly made me like a little bit like, okay, is this a clone? Is this original creation? What is going on here? In total, I've worn this fragrance probably like 6 to 8 times, somewhere in that range. I like to give it a couple full wearings before I actually give the full review. But this is at the point where I'm like, genuinely, I see similarities to other fragrances, but at the same time, it's not at all like a direct clone, like some of their other creations. With that being said, I think that this fragrance in general is a 9 out of 10. I think that this is an amazing fragrance that is genuinely worth the cost. Like this is an amazing price value that smells way higher quality than the price point implies. Now, with that being said, I'm not going to say, oh, go buy it from Afnan's website. I'm sorry, Afnan, even though you sent me this fragrance, there's definitely cheaper, which I will link in the description below if you want to find this fragrance. I compared this to at least 5 to 7 different fragrances, and this is my findings. Maybe I'm wrong, and maybe I will come out with a video in a couple months saying, I was wrong, like you guys like to roast me for, but if that's the case, let me know if you've tried this fragrance, Afnan 9PM Elixir, in the comments below, and I would love to hear from you guys. Thank you so much for watching my full review. I hope I'm first on this. If not, it is what it is. At least I'm, in the top 10 people that have released this. Guys, channel memberships are now open, so if you want to support the channel, I would really appreciate that. If not, subscribe to the channel. That's all that matters. I'm almost at 100,000 subscribers, and once I get there, huge giveaway. Thank you so much for watching. And if this fragrance sounds like something you would like, definitely do not skip on checking this fragrance right here. Thanks for watching, and I will see you over there. Bye.